Whoa, that was wonderful. Dr. Arvin Scott. Always a joy to have you with us. Yeah, and the larger crowd is here too. Could we hear the larger crowd again, Kevin, please? That's our online crowd applauding. Where'd they go? They disappeared. Okay. There they are. Woo. And good morning. Welcome everyone that's here on this Sunday celebration, and welcome to everyone that's viewing online, at home, at work, outside, on a walk, on your phone, on the computer. Let us know that you're watching, if you would, please, to send up a heart or smiley face or a little note, or say good morning, or tell us if it's your first time where you're watching from, so we can send you a note or mail you some booklets if you'd like. Just address us to our email address, UnityAthens@gmail.com. Unity loves to start our services with prayer, so let's take a breath. Maybe you've got some stuff going on, or busyness, or maybe just a little tiny bit of worry, a little bit of worry. Let's put that aside and take a breath. And turn within to that magnificent presence that is always within us. That still small voice, that sense of peace and calm, that knowingness that we are so much more than these physical beings, so much more. You are divine. You are almighty. You are loaded with wisdom, patience, loving kindness, joy, wisdom, so much more. We turn within and we say thank you. Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, God, that shall be enough. Thank you, God. Let's say that with me. Thank you, God, or your name for God. Thank you, Infinite Spirit. Divine Holy All, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. We have two readers this morning. Terry Baer is going to read the Daily Word, followed by Nita Matthews-Morgan reading our Unity Nugget. And if you would come forward, that would be great. Thank you for volunteering. You are great.
Be okay with my mask still on? You can hear me okay? Sunday, July 17, 2022. Trust. I place my trust in God. Few things are greater comfort than deep and abiding trust in God. When I trust, I move more confidently through life. I feel the wind at my back and am made strong in the face of adversity. In the past, I may have felt disappointed when I misplaced my trust. The things of the world are impermanent. Even people come and go, for sure in my life. The truth of God as the one presence and power in the universe, and as my life in everlasting, unchanged and unchanging through all the seasons of life. Even as I grow, evolve, and deepen in spiritual understanding, God is always my source, the inspiration I return to again and again. My freedom to seek and discover lies in the awareness that I can always, always trust in God. And from Isaiah 26:4, trust in the Lord forever, for in the Lord God you have an everlasting rock.
I'm not as talented as she is to have my mask on at the same time. Good morning, everybody. You look so good here. I love having people here. Good morning. This is from Messages We Need to Hear, and it's entitled, What Are You Saying to Yourself? What kind of conversation do you carry on with yourself? What are you saying to yourself right now? If you find your inner conversation with yourself running along negative lines, you have the power to change the subject, to think along different lines. This is where affirmations of truth are wonderfully helpful. An affirmation of truth can be like a conversation piece around which your thoughts center. An affirmation says simply and clearly that which is true and gives your thoughts a pattern, as it were, to follow. You can change your life by changing the way you think and feel. You're doing this by day by day anyway, thought by thought, as you watch the kind of conversation you have with yourself, as you answer any tendency to be negative or fearful or depressed with positive, healing, powerful reminders of truth. If you're ever tempted to say to yourself about some situation that it looks impossible of solution, turn your thinking around and say to yourself, I have faith that with God's help, there is a way for this situation to be solved for the blessing and benefit of all. Do not carry on conversations with yourself that downgrade your worth and ability. Do not think of yourself as lacking in ability or as inferior to others. Affirm, I am the all-wise, all-loving, all-conquering child of God. I reign supreme in all the affairs of mind and body. You may think you are unable to forgive the past, but Christ in you is able. Christ in you sets you free. You can find peace in the present through affirming, through the forgiving love of Jesus Christ, I am set free from mistakes of the past. I accept forgiveness. I forgive myself and others. I set my face in a new direction. Keep your mind stayed on God. Keep your mind stayed on truth, thought by thought. Let your inner conversations be as with the Christ, the God self of you.
Thank you so much, Terry Bear and Nita Matthews Morgan. What a wonderful reading from Martha Smock, who was a Unity minister and a, like walking around with the thing, right? Unity minister and a writer of many, many books. So, we have some brief announcements. That's what's great when we have a wonderful crowd and all this positive energy in here. And they're brief, and the best way to stay in touch with everything that's going on at Unity Athens is simply to get our newsletter, which comes out every week, weekly newsletter. And if you're not receiving that, please let us know. Again, our email is unityathens@gmail.com. The main thing today is that we're having a celebration in the back room after the service. Yay, celebrations! Yay! It got delayed a couple of times and rescheduled a couple of times since June 13th when I was ordained. We had to keep moving it out, but we've got a Sunday now that we can do it. So we've got a wonderful lunch going on in the back room. I'm so grateful for everyone that volunteered. Betty was organizing things, and Martha and Terry were in here early, and others were also helping and getting food together and things. So very grateful for that. We're very grateful for our guest musician today, Dr. Arvin Scott. Yay, Arvin. We'll have some more music from him shortly. And he is a retired UGA professor and also very active in the community. So talk to Arvin about any possible gigs you might have for him or that you know about that he could perform at. We always love his drumming. And he also teaches drumming, so check with him on that. So the lunch and celebration will go on for about half hour to 45 minutes in the back room after the service. Probably be about 12:15 when we go back there and get started. Got some takeout food from Publix and coffee, and I'll get to talk a little bit about the ordination process. I brought props today. So this is the official certificate that I got. It's a lot of words, and I also got one in October. This is dated in June, 13th day of June. That was ordination day, but I also had one in October from being a credentialed Unity minister, which means I can teach the different classes and teach. And this is ordained Unity minister. And I've got a lovely plaque. Oh, see, they give us some swag, Go through a couple of years of training and schooling and interviews, and you get some swag back. And my stole is around here somewhere. My stole kind of keeps moving around when I'm not looking, so I'll wear that later. And other announcements. Next Sunday, our musicians will be John Miley and Dan Roth. They have been here several times now. It's a wonderful duo, and that'll be great. And the following Sunday, Beth Beloit will be here doing music and message, and I will be traveling. I'll be out in New Mexico seeing grand kiddos. And there's a little rumor they might be here next Sunday. So if you haven't seen them in a long time, they're taller than me. You might not recognize them. Other announcements? No more announcements. Yay! No more announcements. We're going to have some meditation now, followed by a little soft music coming out of meditation by Arvin, and then our message. Every meditation at UnityAthens that we do on Sundays includes time for deep quiet. Why? If you're new to this teaching or new to Unity or new to meditating, that quiet allows us to go deeper and to really help get in the stillness. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it doesn't happen every time we meditate. But when we're able to, which comes with practice, to leave the outer alone for a while and just go into that stillness, we receive guidance, we receive calm assurance, we receive, I believe, that feeling of light and divinity that is always within us. But hey, guess what? Sometimes we forget. We get busy or rushed or worried. And so turning within with the help of some soft music, some mantras if you wish. If you're at home, you might like to have your feet on the floor or on the grass, feeling that energy of Mother Earth, those ions, with all that healing energy coming up, or feeling the breeze. Or maybe in your hammock. Maybe your feet aren't going to be on the ground. We'll start with some music and just begin to quietly go within. Might want to turn off your lights at home or light a candle. Hold your fur baby or imagine doing that. And just begin to be still. Be still and know. Say Om. Feel the resonance of that M sound. Om. Om. Peace. Love. You want to put your hands on your heart for a moment and love yourself. God loves you. You might want to say, God loves me. And feel it. What does that feel like to you? Sometimes we don't feel deserving of love. But you are so deserving. Simply by being. And if you hold your hands out, palms up, you may feel the warmth and the energy of light and love. A sense of transformation. Transforming from old ways of thinking to new. Transforming from doubt into belief. Transforming from not enough to divine abundance. Transforming from what you may perceive as the limits of humanity into the limitlessness of spirit as you walking in this world. Going deeper into the quiet, deeper into the silence, deeper into your connection with spirit. Allow yourself to be open to guidance, to messages, to wisdom, to answers for your questions, now and in the time ahead. Allow yourself to be open to an even greater sense of self-worth. Knowing who and whose you are. Child of the Most High. Breathing again, focusing on the breath again, opening your eyes when you're ready. Perhaps with a thank you from heart into the heart of God. And turning on the lights. And so it is. Meditation always puts me in this kind of a quiet zone where I'm like, oh, what was I going to talk about? And perhaps you're like, oh, what was I going to do next? But when we have wonderful transitional music, so Arvin's going to play for just a little bit, and he's going to do a longer solo, which is not a drum along, after the message. But this, just kind of maybe start out quiet and then raise the energy a little higher for a couple of minutes. Okay, does that sound good? Are we in agreement? Well, can we give him a round of applause in agreement? Okay, yes. Thank you. The power of spoken word. Now, this is something Unity and New Thought has taught for ages. The power of the spoken word, the power of our thoughts, right? And yet, even though we may know this very well, sometimes it kind of like just drifts away, and we forget that what we're speaking about has power and has cause. It's causal. It can make a difference in our lives. So today, that's what we're going to focus on, remembering the power of our spoken words. I've been talking about Maya Angelou a lot lately. I did some quotes that she had on Eric Butterworth, and then last week also mentioned her. She said this, and it's one of my favorites. And I'm not going to pretend to do her voice, but if you've ever heard Maya, that voice should come through in your head as I'm reading this, with that rich, deep voice of hers. And she loved unity. Do you know she wanted to be a unity minister? That she was all set up to go to school up there and go through the process I kind of just went through. And then she was in her 80s, and she had become dealing with some illness issues and passed a few years later. Anyway, words are things. You must be careful. Careful about calling people out of their names, using racial pejoratives and sexual pejoratives and all that ignorance. Don't do that. Someday, we will be able to measure the power of our words. I think they are things. They get on the walls. Look at that. I'm glad we got some positive things on our walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, and your clothes. Okay, I'm going to take a minute. Okay, I'll brush off something you said yesterday, okay? Not to me, just I'm brushing off something I might have said yesterday. And finally, into you. Oprah had a wonderful video of her speaking with Maya, and it's on many Unity websites because Unity is mentioned. Oprah said, I have seen you put people out of your house for telling a racist joke, and you are not the least bit embarrassed about disrupting the whole room. Maya, I believe that a negative statement is poison. The air between you and me is filled with sounds and images. If that were not so, how is it that I can turn on a television right now and see what's happening in New York? That means sounds and images are in the air, crowded, jammed up like bats. And Oprah, I'm convinced that the negative has power. It lives, and if you allow it to perch in your house, in your mind, in your life, it can take you over. So when the rude or cruel thing is said, the lambasting, the gay bashing, the hate, I say, take it all out of my house. Now this was probably 20 years ago when she said this too. Those negative words climb into the woodwork and into the furniture, and the next thing you know, they'll be on your skin. Oprah, love Oprah, replied, the same is true with the positive spirit. Maya said, I believe so. So I have several affirmations today that are my favorites, and I want to talk about them a little bit because perhaps they're resonating with you also. Unity, we were re-emphasized up at the village in some of the talks and some of the workshops that went on in convention right after the ordination ceremony, was that church should not be, for anyone, any belief system, a thing where you come in and you watch and you listen and you go. Instead, it should be experiential. You should experience something when you're in any kind of worship center, any kind of synagogue, church, temple, mosque. You should experience something. So after each one of these favorite quotes of mine, and maybe you have some of your own that you like to say in your head or out loud, take a little moment and pause on it and see where you can go with it. So the first one is from Florence Scovel Shinn. And I was giving this to someone just the other day. And if you're not familiar with Flossie, read any of her books. They're just amazing. Now is the appointed time. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Now sometimes those are said separately and sometimes together. And we're doing them together today. Now is the appointed time. Now is the appointed time. And what does that mean to you? You don't need to share out loud, but what does that mean to you? Is there something that you are hoping for that's maybe in your future, that's maybe something you're desiring, that's maybe something that you've been wanting and it seems to keep getting back shelved or not going forward? Now is the appointed time. Not so much for you to do something, but for you to allow something, you know? What can you allow that you've been wanting? Now, you don't need to allow it by doing some kind of work on the outer, but on the inner, just, this is what I want. This is what I want to see in my life. This is that next step I've been thinking about. This is that new way I want to be with another person or a family member. This is a new way I want to be in life. This is a new way I want to express, show up. This is a new wave of energy I want to see around me. Now is the appointed time. Not tomorrow, not when I'm older, wiser, younger, whatever. Now is the appointed time. And today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. What does that feel like? What does that feel like if you know that? If you really believe that? If you're creating that feeling of it right now? What does that mean? Wouldn't you get really, really excited if you woke up in the morning and the voice of God comes from my ceiling? I often say God lives in my attic, but where am I? Comes from somewhere. Or you open a blank book, a diary, a brand new one, and you've never put a thing in it, and all the pages were blank yesterday, and there's a huge writing in there. Today is the day of your amazing good fortune. What would that feel like? Wow, I would be excited. Wouldn't you? Probably put it on Facebook, right? You'll never guess what happened to me this morning. God spoke to me and said, today is the day of my amazing good fortune. And all these answers pop up. Me too, me too, me too, me too. Yay. They're not ready. We'll have them on the Facebook page. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. One more time and really hit the amazing. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. And let your eyes get big and go, wow. Okay. Now is the appointed time. Now is the appointed time. One more time. Now is the appointed time. Thank you. Use that, if you will. Write it down. I had it as a wake-up alarm for the longest time on my phone, and I need to put that back on because that's what it would say. Or have a little pre-recording somewhere, and they'll know it. And if you want to expand that, you can share it with others. Just told a friend about it on the phone just a couple days ago. Or send it to someone. Because we're going to share our amazing good fortune, are we not? And don't we react to life differently if we're not coming from lack and limitation and what's going to happen next into this? Oh, I'm a God person walking in this world. And my amazing good fortune is everywhere present. So that's number one. Number two, I grabbed off the wall. It's my favorite affirmation. I got a lot of favorites. Peace, be still. Right? You just breathe that out. Peace, be still. It hangs on our wall. And it's from Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God goes right along with it. Be still. Be still. Peace, be still. Be still and know that I am God. How do you work that? To me, it's when life gets busy and things aren't going the way I want them to. Has that ever happened to you? Just like, what? I did not order this. I did not want that person in my, I did not want that conversation. I did not want this result. But it's all working for good. And when we go, peace, be still, we slow down, we quiet down, right? We take a breath. I'm teaching myself to pause before I respond, before I have conversations, before I make a phone call, before I write an email. Just pause and ask myself, am I being still? Am I being at peace? Am I coming from my highest self? Do I do it every time? Nope. Do I do it when things are hectic and lots of things are going on at once? No, not always. But do I do it? Yeah. Do I do it when I hear news? Yeah, sometimes it takes a bit. And I have to peace be still, peace be still. You may have other phrases that go so well with that too, like all is well with my soul, or things are always working out, or all that, or the highest good in this, no matter how upsetting it seems to be, especially with news type things. But for me, for you, for us as individuals to go into that place first, to pause. You see your phone ringing, which is so different than it was, 74 now. So different than it was 50 years ago. 60 years ago when there would be a party line on the phone, you didn't even know if it was your family's phone ringing, pick it up. I'll take it off the phone, And the neighbors could plug in. I really need to make a phone call, and you're talking to your girlfriend way too long. But now we see it, right? The phone's ringing. We also, if it's a number that's in our phone, we see who it is. And it's so easy to grab it right away, but even a 5-second pause. I'm going to answer this, even if it's someone we love talking with. Just to take that pause. Am I centered? Am I coming from my highest place? Am I feeling kind? Am I going to talk about positive things or all the stuff in the world? And just pause and then pick it up. Same thing if you running into someone in the store or answering a question or in a group of people. Just learning to pause. I think that's one of the things I loved about my dog, because he couldn't talk. He communicated with me a lot, but he was always just pausing, right? Plus he was pausing a lot too. But he would pause, and he would look at me, and I was like, okay, you don't react, You might, dogs and, furry friends react to things. But most of the time, he was very non-reactive to life. Some of you have had puppies that are very reactive. I'm thinking about Charlie right now. When Charlie was little, he was reacting all the time, Dave and Nita. But pause, and it doesn't that sound easy? And it's not always. Or it might be in the middle of a conversation where something feels a little triggering to you, or you don't like it, or you're wondering. Oh. Just pause and see a little higher side of everything. So you might want to say that, peace, be still, and feel it. What does that feel like to you? Say it a few times. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Say it at home, and if you feel like you can't say it out loud where you are, you might write it down a few times. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Now, can you picture yourself saying that to the world? To all the things going on in different places? And sometimes it's a little harder to stay centered if you're doing that, but just say, peace, be still. Peace, be still, world. Peace, be still. Different views on so many different things. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. So we have, now is the appointed time, and today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Peace, be still. And this is from Matthew 17:20. It's about the mustard seed. If you have faith, anybody have an idea of how big a mustard seed is? Show me one. Yeah, like a pinhead. Yeah, thank you, Laura. They even put them in like different coatings for necklaces and things. If you have that much faith, nothing shall be impossible unto you. And I like that part of the quote. Nothing shall be impossible unto me. Nothing shall be impossible unto me. And feel the energy of that, because there's seemingly impossible things out there. What did the Red Queen say to Alice? Do 6 impossible things before breakfast? Yeah. And what might seem impossible to you might just be a step in one direction. Or it might be a knowing, or it might be a sitting and imagining it. It might be envisioning it. It might be helping someone else to get to it. Or seeing our world get to it. Nothing shall be impossible unto you. And don't they all kind of fit together? Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Now is the appointed time. Peace, be still. And nothing is impossible unto you. Because you know what? I think we all have faith as much as that little grain of mustard seed. It's what you are. It's inbuilt. It's one of your 12 powers. Thanks, Charles. Emma Curtis Hopkins for telling Charles about them. It's not often known. So know those. And if you'd like a copy of them, just let us know, and we can email them to you. Email us at UnityAthens@gmail.com. But know this, as we go out into our day and into more music from Arvin and closing and our sacred exchange and our celebration in the back room. And whatever you're doing, perhaps at home or out in life today or out in the parks, know, beyond a knowing, just how amazing you are. Just how full of health and energy and life. Just how full of wisdom and well-being and all good things. Just how full of talent and ways of making dreams come true. Just how full of creativity and the enormity of your spirit and your soul and your personality. Just how beautiful you are. You might want to tell yourself right now, I am so beautiful. Let's say that. I am so beautiful. I am so loved. I am so loved. I am so powerful. I'm so powerful. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. And so it is. Let's give Arvin another round of applause. We're going to have him come up. Okay. Are you playing anywhere scheduled in your...
So far, no performances, but still at the Boys and Girls Club in Wyandotte. Got one more week left from the summer. 2 contracts.
Awesome.
12 classes a week.
Awesome.
So it's been wonderful. And those kids have made me so proud. 1st through 6th graders. Then I thought I'd get in September.
Damn.
All right.
That was so good. Whoa. Thank you for that. Thank you for being you. Wow. It was fabulous. A little echo. So now it's time for our sacred exchange. And I'm echoing, echo. That mic. Okay.
I think it's me.
Okay. Thank you for continuing to support Unity Athens, especially these last 2.5 years. Just being up at the village, there were 270 people there, including ministers and volunteers and staff and workers from UWM and UWH. And it was mentioned different churches that didn't make it and didn't last through the 2.5 years. And it was always feeling kind of sad because, but things change, and I'm so glad that we are still here, and I'm so glad for the support that comes in, for consistent giving, for your donations, for people that donate online from other states even, that have never even been here. Please continue to support Unity Athens. It's been a little quieter these last few months, and we'll have a letter or two out on that. But thank you, and thank you for abundance, because we see abundance, we know abundance, we are abundance. As we give, we receive. That's something my parents taught me from my youngest age. They believed in tithing, and they really told us that as you give to God, it does come back to you, but that's not why we do it. We give for the generosity and love of giving. We have a love offering affirmation that Kevin will put up on the screen, and for those of you at home, we have a webpage, UnityAthens.com, with different ways to donate. We also have a card reader here if anyone wants to use a credit card to donate. And you can always mail checks to our P.O. Box 1662, Athens, Georgia 30603. But we have this love offering affirmation, and when I grew up in my Methodist church, I think we said the same thing every Sunday, and sometimes it can become kind of rote. So it's good to just bless your gifts, bless your abundance. I love this from John Randolph Price's book and his 40-day prosperity plan, number 1. God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe, this all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me. And a little easier one is on the board. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am so blessed. Wait a minute, say that 3 times. I am so blessed. One more time. I am so blessed. Oh, one more time. I am so blessed. Damn. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, God, whatever your name for that is, and so it is. We've got some baskets we're going to pass around. We know some people give online, so just pass it on. And Sean and Kevin, if you would do that. I'm going to read a little more from Maya Angelou. Maya was vigilant about her words and those who spoke in her presence. Acquaintances have related the story of a powerful moment at a party in Maya's home when she heard someone telling a joke that used language that was hurtful and divisive. Maya walked across the room. Now, this is the party at her home, right? When you're the gracious host, the people you know and people that know each other. Maya walked across the room, helped find the person's coat, and escorted the offender out the door. Summing up this story, she said, "Not in my house." I doubt that anyone who is present will ever forget the powers of those words and actions. And her quote, "Words are things, I'm convinced. You must be careful about the words you use or the words you allow to be used in your house. In the Old Testament, we are told in Genesis that, quote, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God." That's in Genesis. You can hear her voice. Words are things. We must be careful. So I hope you find and found use in these affirmations today and in your own. Bring out your favorites. You know, you probably have some hanging on a wall or on a mirror or in a book or something you just know by heart that you say all the time. But bring your attention to them and your intention and really think about what you're saying and have maybe a choice of different ones that you can use at different times. I'm going to share one more of my favorites. It's from the Light Seers Tarot deck. I have one tarot deck, and I've never had one, and someone suggested it to me a couple of years ago. It's amazing and beautiful. And the card was for judgment. And it says this: "You have judged others and been judged yourself, and you are awakening to the understanding of this. The only approval that really matters is your own." The only approval that really matters is your own. Damn, yeah, everybody. Oh, today at Unity Athens, we said damn 3 times. Okay, damn. So we see our blessings blessed, and we see all our abundance multiplied and returning back to us with wonderful flow and energy and light and love. We're going to say our prayer for protection, and then Kevin is going to play the Peace on Earth song. That's on the wall. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Remember, we have lunch. If someone's watching from home and you got a quick drive over here, come on. We can still celebrate, and we'll be here for next hour or so. And we have food in the back, and let's sing out peace to the world, knowing it, that there is more peace than anything else. There's more good than anything else. There is more love than anything that appears not to be love. And we'll give Arvin one more round of applause, too. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, let's stand up, if you will, if you wish, mouse on, whatever.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Namaste.